Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Janine McGowan and I'm the designer for cross stitch charts under the name The Blue Flower. This is my brief Flosstube video about cross stitch and birds and whatever else comes to mind, so it's lovely to see you. All right. I hope you have some great stuff planned for this weekend. I actually am within a whisker of finishing the last few models that I need to hustle through, and so I get some personal stitching. I'm very excited about that. I see a lot of people doing yard work, which is just something about yard work in the spring. Even when it's weeding and carting soil, it just feels very great. It feels great to be outside again after a long winter and to see things growing. So I hope some of you are getting to enjoy some good time in your yard, even if it's just sitting and watching it come to life again, as is pretty much my plan. So moving on to stitching in action, we have one this week from Lisa. Lisa stitched up the Seasons of the Heart spring design that just came out in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I love what she did. She used a piece of 32 count mystery fabric, I believe, and she switched one of the, I think it was ecru, to a lighter white, just so it would show up better. So thank you very much, Lisa. You know, I'm always a fan of switching and going with what you've got, and I think it came out beautifully. Thank you for sharing that. If you have anything to share in future, you can always email me, and there's a spot on the website as well to submit those so everyone can appreciate what you've done. All right, what I'm stitching, I'm combining this with Stash Spotlight this week because it's, well, they're combined. So, and since I actually have personal stitching in prospect, which I'm very excited about, I'm going to take full advantage. A friend this past week, a dear friend, gifted me this beautiful piece of 40 count linen. This is from the Primitive Hare, and I believe you can still get this from her. But it's printed with bees, and it's a little bit distressed and antiqued, which is lovely. And so I wanted to do just a quick little personal stitch pattern for this. I'm using, and I think I can show it because it was free, this Beelieve bee pattern that I got from Kitten Stitcher in the Be Well and Stitch days when we were just beginning to stay home and try to adjust to the new normal. And I thought I would just pull some threads from Stash, not bother too much about what's intended, but this is the palette that I'm looking at so far. Just some really fun colors, nice bright reds for those berries, and lovely bee colors, soft greens and blues. So I'm very excited to be able to be doing personal stitching on that one. So thank you, dear friend, for the bee fabric, and I'm so excited to use it. Next up, for what I'm stitching slash stash slash plans slash mania, I'm slash happy today. I have never done Mania before. It was just something that was new to me, and when I started designing, it was always right after market where I was just frantically trying to recover from market, and oh yeah, I have to put out new stuff now too. And so it was never something that I'd participated in. This year, thanks to Alba Stitcher, and I'll put her information below in case you want to watch a lovely lady with a fabulous voice and an even more fabulous cat talk about cross stitch. And she is doing a very targeted mania. She is working on the Blackbird Christmas designs only, a different one each week, I believe. And so I'm going to join her with an even more targeted mania. I'm going to do the one, it's a very, very focused. I'm going to do this one Feliz Navidad from Blackbird during the month for personal stitching. That's my mania. And if everything goes well, I might even be able to, if not finish, at least make a lot of progress. So I'm very excited about that. I was at virtually the Acorns and Threads retreat last fall via Zoom, and they gave us a little bit of virtual shopping time, and so I got this gorgeous piece of Lakeside Linens. I love Lakeside Linens, and it's called Green Slate. It's reading a little bit lighter on the camera than it is in person, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color. And so I thought I would do this one on this fabric. You know, obviously I'm gonna have to tweak a couple of the colors, but not as many as you'd think. And so I've got a preliminary palette going here just to kind of show off. These always look so messy. A lot of people wonder about bobbinating silk. I absolutely bobbinate silk. I bobbinate everything, partly because Pilsner, our cat, will chase any loose threads, partly because any loose threads will reach out into the air and grab Pilsner hair, which twines around them. and partly because this right here, this dangly thing, really bothers me. So these will be bobbinated when I work on them in May, but I'm so excited about these colors. I think they're going to be beautiful on the green linen. I'm very excited to use it. So that's my Mania plan, and I believe by the next Flosstube it will be the start of Mania. So I should have a few stitches in and some progress on my bee. So that's what I'm stitching and my stash. On to the world around. This week I wanted to talk about the red-winged blackbird. We have a great many of them who live very close to our house because we have a green belt behind us that's also, I think they call it water quality facility. So it's where the water goes to be filtered by plants and things. And so it has a sort of a quasi-marshy, desert-style marshy status most of the time. And that's perfect for red-winged blackbirds, among a lot of other animals. So I see lots of them. I've got a photo here from just the web with credit, but I was able to get a few videos. I don't usually capture them because I have the dogs with me when I'm out walking and they don't like us to get very close to get a good picture. But they're a hoot. And right about this time of year, a little bit earlier when we start to be able to walk in the mornings, all the males will pick their cattail, their rush, their spot, and they sit there in the mornings. And as you're going by, they're kind of spreading their feathers to show. It's almost like guys at the gym. And they're singing their loudest to try and attract mates. We're into nesting season now. So it's just, we've had this cacophony of sound coming up and down the green space every morning. Now it's a little bit quieter, but because hawks also live in the green space and hunt in the green space, the red-winged blackbirds do something amazing. They will actually dive down and, well, they don't want the hawks near their nesting sites, obviously. So they will fly above them and dive down on their back and literally just bounce off like they're counting coup. And they'll just do it over and over again until the hawk leaves their particular section of the wash. So I actually have a little bit of video that I'm going to insert here in a minute. And the first two are just trying to capture the sound with a little bit of wind noise. Sorry about that. But you can kind of get an idea of what it sounds like here in the mornings. And then you can see, if you're very, very eagle-eyed, you can see a white juvenile hawk flying through. And there are two separate blackbirds that take a dive on him. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in right here. So be back in a minute. Hope you could see that. It was fun to watch in person. I am always impressed that these little birds, they're about the size of a robin, they will take on a hawk, which, I don't know, in relative size, that's probably like me trying to take out a T-Rex that's menacing my house. Hawks eat birds that are much bigger than the red-winged blackbirds. They eat the doves, they eat the pigeons, and I see them hunting in my yard, so it's pretty impressive that they're able to muster up the courage to do that. The hawks never seem to go after them that I've seen. They just get harassed for a while and then leave. So hopefully I will not see that play out a different way. I like to have my image of it. All right, on to questions. Thank you all for the great answers to my question last time about the Silver Needle event. I was so privileged to be able to talk to Kathy Haberman a little bit as well, and she gave me a lot of good tips, and so it helps me to visualize what I need to do, and that really helps my brain to get something to focus on. So thank you all. I'm so excited. Some of you have reached out to let me know that you're going to be there, and I can't wait. So I'm moving towards that rapidly, and I will be finishing the models this weekend, so we're all ready to go and start packing up kits. Best thing this week, morning walks. It's always a little bit of a juggling act here because I can't be in the sun and because the temperature fluctuates quite a bit here overnight. And so We've been waiting for it to be light enough so that I can go out before the sun's up over the mountains, but also warm enough for the dogs. So we finally hit that sweet spot, which means we can go out in the morning, and it's pretty much my favorite thing, to be out first thing, nobody else around, just the birds, the animals, the frost still on the plants. The dogs really love to get their first sniffs in before anybody else comes along, so we've been enjoying that every chance we get. Okay, on to the giveaway. We're moving quickly today. It's not going to be a super long one. Last week, the giveaway was this fabulous pack from Lindy Stitches, starting with Edna Goes to Brunch. So you get the chart, you get beautiful threads for Edna Goes to Brunch. You get this amazing bag from the 805 Stitcher that comes with it and has little birding binoculars for the zipper pull. You get some candy from Steph, which I did not eat, and a nice sticker plate for the back when you're done, and this adorable free chart called Before the Ball, a Lindy Mini, which is such a great thing. So to win this, you had to use the word brunch in your comment. Many of you used brunch. I'd like to think it's because we all love brunch so much and we're eager for it, but I also know a lot of people wanted to win Edna, which I do not blame you for. I might go buy Edna for myself again. All right, the winner is Kristen Shields, who is looking forward to having brunch with her family again when everyone is vaccinated. That sampler verse, which I shared last time, is a good one. I'm always on the lookout for verses to replace some of the rather dire and depressing ones in many samplers. And Kristen, congratulations. I completely agree with you. I wonder if these young girls, as they stitched, you know, some of them are wonderful verses and inspiring verses, and some of them, it's just, oh, I'm a worthless worm, but maybe I'll go to hell. I don't know. It just seems like, oh, that's disappointing. It would be really hard to work so many hours on something and then put in something that basically says, oh, I'm no good at all. So thank you, Kristen. We're on the same page, and I hope you enjoy this pack. Now, for those of you who are not following Lindy Stitches on Facebook, you could definitely benefit from doing that. She has been doing the backyard bird along, I think, every summer, where people submit photos, and that's how Edna started, by a photo submission that became a chart. I believe this season has just closed the backyard bird along as well, and so there will be a new Edna design or bird design coming out, and Steph is so good at the birds, so that's something to really look forward to. All right, giveaway this week. This week I'm going to do another one of that series of 4 I had from Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And this one is Sampler of the Season, Spring, The Airing of the Quilts. I love this design. It's not terribly large, very reasonable. I think it's 190 by 191. So depending on your count, not too big. And let's get a really good look there. I'll put it in front of my face so it doesn't try to focus on me. There we go. So this one has quite a bit of grass in the bottom. It's got a little bit of a pattern underneath the house, and there's a rabbit, love that, and some flowers in the grass, but mostly it's just an unbroken green with just one thread. So for entering in to win this chart, I wanted to see what you think about grass. Is it like a house where you like having just, don't need the chart, I would just want to sit down and fill in some grass? Or does it bother you? Do you want a pattern? Do you not like to fill in big areas? So let me know your thoughts. Use the word grass and you will be entered to win that fabulous one for the next Flosstube. On to announcements. Quickly, for shop owners, I'm working on a wholesale page to add to my website that will just be for shop owners, but the idea is that it will let them see designs before the official photographs are taken, but in advance so that they can plan for linen and supplies, because we know it's an ongoing challenge for them to have to try and work out far ahead what they might need, or have people coming in, great, there's this new chart, I want the linen, and it's going to be 6 months. That's just the way it is. So if you're a shop owner, you'll be getting an email from me hopefully in the next couple weeks with a little bit more information about that. Next announcement, Rye will be turning 1 next weekend. So the following weekend, or I guess after my Mania discussions, I will have a highlight reel of her first year with us. She's definitely growing into a bigger, well, she is about as big as she's going to get. She's growing into a more adult-ish teenager dog. More sleeping, less random chewing, although she's still not really safe to be left alone. But it's been an adventure, a difficult, wonderful, amazing, rewarding, hard, awesome first year with her. So I'll put together a little quickie. On the subject of puppy video, this wraps up my discussion for today. If you're interested in puppy video, that's what's left. So the last couple minutes, just pictures of the dog. She did have one exciting thing. I put it at the beginning if you want to see that. She managed to steal a carrot from the crisper drawer. And then she was so excited. She was doing loops around the living room furniture. So if you see that, you'll know it's because she managed to get a carrot. I don't think I've ever been so excited about a carrot in my life, but that's one thing animals do, is they bring us joy that we might have missed otherwise. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. I hope you have a lovely weekend and happy stitching. Goodbye.